Well, nobody knocked Strong Honor off the air except for me. We haven't been on the air in a few weeks here on Strong Honor, and there's a pretty good reason for that, and I'll get into it here in a second. Hello, my name is Tommy Stryker. I usually host this show with my buddies Joe and Taco, but a few weeks ago, really right after the G1 climax, we stopped recording this show. Mainly because I want to just record one podcast a week. I really love doing this Strong Honor show, a separate show, just New Japan and Ring of Honor, but it's just easier for the three of us to sit down and record one a week. Now, part of me doesn't want to let this show go entirely. So what I'm going to do from time to time, so we're still going to talk a lot of New Japan wrestling and Ring of Honor wrestling on our main podcast, The Best Pro Wrestling Podcast. But I understand that there are fans that just don't want to hear about WWE and NXT and everything else going on in the world of wrestling. They just want the New Japan and Ring of Honor stuff. And that's completely understandable. Maybe you're not into WWE and all the other stuff. Maybe you have other podcasts that you prefer to listen to about those subjects. Whatever the reason you have is a good one. So what I was thinking is maybe just cutting out the parts where we talk about Ring of Honor and New Japan and posting them on, making an edited podcast and posting them. Now, what I'm probably going to end up doing is getting rid of the exclusive Strong Honor feed. So what you should do on wherever you listen to podcasts, go and subscribe to the Best Pro Wrestling Podcast feed, because all of the Strong Honor podcasts show up over there as well. And so if what my plan is to get rid of the Strong Honor exclusive feed, but you'll still be able to get the exclusive Strong Honor edited podcasts on the regular Best Pro Wrestling Podcast feed. In addition to, there are going to be times where I'm just going to want to talk a bunch of New Japan stuff, New Japan and Ring of Honor, and I'm not going to want to talk about the other stuff. And if that's the case, we will record new Strong Honors. There are going to be weeks where we do want to record new, fresh, Strong Honors, especially when there's big things going on. Like during the G1, I want to cover it all. Like I'm into it. And so I'm going to want to talk about all of that stuff like we did this year. So with stuff coming up like the Junior Tag League, with the Heavyweight World Tag League coming up at the end of the year, maybe I'll do some solo Strong Honors where I get into all of the juicy details of those shows, because I enjoy covering some of that stuff or talking about some of that stuff. So Strong Honor itself probably not going away entirely, because I still enjoy kind of doing it, but having the two different feeds is just a bit redundant at this point. We're just going to switch everything to one feed. So make sure you go follow Best Pro Wrestling Podcast wherever you get your podcasts, and you can find Strong Honor there. If you listen online, you can go to bestprowrestlingpodcast.com. That's where you'll find both Strong Honor and Best Pro Wrestling Podcast. So now here it is, our conversation this week about Ring of Honor and New Japan. Hope you guys like it. Thanks.
King of Sport. New Japan Pro Wrestling.
The problem is I got all the New Japan stuff over on the Strong Honor page, and I always forget to switch back over to the Strong Honor page. And so
what's Strong Honor?
Bad luck, fail.
That's our New Japan Pro Wrestling podcast and New Japan and Ring of Honor podcast that we stopped doing a couple of weeks ago. Some people are sad. I was getting some tweets. They're like, "Oh, I miss my Strong Honor. I need my fix." So we're going to talk some New Japan here this week, even though I'm the only one that watched it.
Yeah, fuck, man, busy.
But yeah, we had the two Destruction shows. We had the Hiroshima show and the Beppu show from this week. And three.
Imagine me bopping your nose when I say that too.
We had three big matches, a couple other of some smaller matches in here. We got the return of the Killer Elite Squad. We got new music for the Killer Elite Squad. New entrance video.
Scaring kids still?
No, Lance Archer is taking a serious approach. It got a little silly with the scaring kids and the spitting water. At first, it was like when he first started doing it on his last run last year, it was like, oh, who the fuck is this asshole spitting water? And it got silly and it got kind of fun by the end of it. We were all waiting for it when he would come out.
It fucking gets hot in those arenas.
But now he's come back after being away for most of the summer, and he's dead serious now. So everybody dies. That's what he says. So they're back. We had the Never Six-Man Championships defended here by the Gorillas of Destiny and Ishimori. They continued to hang on to those titles. They defeated Taguchi Japan. It was Taguchi, David Finlay, and Juice Robinson. Going after those titles. This time, Taguchi came out in a rugby helmet and was doing a rugby gimmick in the ring. Anytime someone hit him in the head with the helmet, it wouldn't affect him because the helmet protected him, allegedly, even though it's a soft rugby-style helmet. But the Gorillas of Destiny get the win with their ape-shit finisher over David Finlay in that match there. Then the main event from the Hiroshima show was Kenny Omega defending the title against Tomohiro Ishii. And man, these guys went at it.
I did watch this.
You did watch this
one. The main event. That's it.
Okay, yeah. And I'm curious to see what you thought about this one, Taco, because, I mean, I thought it was good.
It wasn't their best.
It wasn't their best.
I thought people were jacking it off online like it was like the next coming. It was like, no, it was a good show, but I feel like every time I've gone to a Kenny Omega and Ishii match, I'm always all like, oh, this is going to be a good match. And so I was like, oh, fuck, that was a great match. This was the first time I was like, I'm fucking pumped for this match. And I was like, yeah, it was a good match.
I think for me, because by the end of it, I was into it, and I watched it a second time today. The first time, what was bothering me was this new guy Mark on commentary.
Okay.
This new the new English commentary guy sitting next to Kevin Kelly. Apparently Don Callis is just done now. I don't know. He hasn't been back since the beginning of the G1 climax. So, and he kind of alluded to it on the broadcast here too. But yeah, he was this new guy Mark. He's contributing to other English things on NJPWWorld.com. And that's fine. That's good. We need more English content on the website, so that's a good thing. But him doing commentary this first night on the show was really annoying for me. He was really dorky. He was overreacting to things, so that bothered me, and it stood out to me in this match. I was like, what are you doing, dude? You're kind of ruining this for me. So I watched it again today with the Japanese commentary, and it was a little bit better, but I still felt a little disconnected here, and I think I know why. And I'm not sure on this, but I'm just going to try to figure it out here. I just felt disconnected because at no point did I think Ishii was really going to win, because this was for the championship.
Right.
I just didn't believe that Ishii could win that title and go on to the Tokyo Dome. You know, Ishii and Tanahashi, Ishii and Okada, good matches, but not main event of the Tokyo Dome matches. I mean, they could be. I mean, it could be good.
It's shit that I want in my head.
I mean, yeah, I want to see it, but it just... I just don't feel like Ishii is at that level either.
Yeah.
You know, he can rise to a main event and have a main event match like he did here, but I just didn't believe in him in that way. And also, Kenny Omega was fighting on top in this match. In other words, Ishii was fighting from underneath, and that felt kind of awkward at the beginning stages of the match, with Kenny Omega kind of playing the role of dominant champion early. You know, hitting the big double stomp through the English announce table.
Yeah.
That was another moment that kind of took me out of it, because on the English announce side, he literally tells the English, like, he's like, "Get out of the way, guys. We're getting ready to do something." So you see it coming, and it takes them a little while to get into the spot, and then they do the spot. But it was a brutal, because I mean, you know, these Japanese announce tables, right? They're these fucking stiff tables, and so he lays Ishii on the table, and he does the springboard out of the ring and does the double stomp onto Ishii, and that's the impact of the double stomp.
And slides off and lands on his ass.
Right, but the impact of the double stomp did break the table, and Ishii's fucking shoulder was all scuffed up from him taking the double stomp. So, yeah, Kenny is fighting on top early. And so
Ishii's a power bottom.
Right, and that kind of took, I don't know, the psychology there felt backwards. I'm used to Kenny kind of fighting from underneath in an Ishii match. So that was different here. But then I did really enjoy obviously these two towards the end of the match, they go back and forth really hard. You know, it's, you know, the typical back and forth from these two guys. And by the end of the match, I mean, they went a good 40 minutes here, I think.
Fuck yeah.
Jeez.
And so, obviously at the beginning it's going to take a while to get going, but by the end of this, they were both just so fucking gassed. And Ishii wouldn't like let go of Kenny's leg, and Ibushi is in the ring like dumping bottles of water on Kenny Omega's head, and it takes him kind of a while to like just be able to stand and address the crowd and do the thing you do after a main event.
Yeah. I even loved Ishii still trying to fight on his way to the back locker room. Like, it's just that I love that shit. Like, awesome.
He's an animal.
The story of the match then is Kenny was able to hit his finisher on Ishii, but and show that he was stronger in that moment. But even after Ishii kind of waking back up after the finish, Ishii wants more fight, and Kenny Omega has nothing left. He is done. That's it. And he says in his post-match promo, like, you know, when you're the champion, it says you're the strongest, but I'm only the strongest because of Ibushi. And so if it wasn't for Ibushi, I wouldn't be in this position. And so and then you've got the story going on in the back of your head. Will fucking Kota Ibushi beat Kenny Omega to go on to the finals of the G1? So that's got to happen at some point. But then these two are friends and lovers and whatnot. And so would they subject themselves to doing that match? And the fact that Kenny Omega is saying this guy is the better man, and I wouldn't be in this position without him. Yep. So that's a really intriguing story going forward. But if I had to throw stars on this Ishii Omega one, it's really tough because they've had so many great ones in the past. But I'd go, I don't know, somewhere 4.5.
Yeah. I
don't know. But I just couldn't get into it like I have the matches from those guys in the past.
Yeah. I agree. Like, yeah. I don't want to sound like I'm negative on the match. Like,
no, yeah, me neither.
It was such a good match. It was worth watching 100%. Like, watch this. Like, if you love New Japan, if you love Omega Ishii, if you want a good championship match, watch this match. But God, we can definitely get way other matches. It's like, well, if you want to watch an Omega Ishii match, you should watch these ones. Like, the fucking for that that U.S. title was a fucking great match. I think you're right with the my heart was like, God, I want Ishii to walk out with the champion of this. To me, it would be awesome, but it's like, it's not going to happen.
Yeah,
Omega just fucking won. This is second title defense. Like,
And then I love when Omega finally gets to the back. He can't quite make it to the typical press conference area. He just collapses on a wall, basically. Okay. And so the press gather around him. They're all taking pictures, and he starts talking shit about Tanahashi. So
I've been seeing that on Twitter too, even.
So I love that. He's like, look, man, we're all different. I know Tanahashi, you're trying to come in here and talk about your style is the best. Look, my style is different. Ishii's style is different. Naito's style is different. Just because you have your old ways of doing things doesn't mean yours is the best, and I'm going to prove that you're the best. He's like, you got lucky when you beat Kota Ibushi in the G1 finals. So he's talking mad shit to Tanahashi. So I love that the main event, the Tokyo Dome main event shit talk is starting already.
Oh, what did he say on fucking Twitter today? It was just like, it might have been yesterday. It was just him, Tanahashi against Okada 71. Great, it's gonna be a fucking snooze fest.
Well, I'm curious to see how these guys get me psychologically hooked, because that match is coming up this weekend. That's Sunday between Okada and Tanahashi for the briefcase for the main event at the Tokyo Dome. And so
that's another pair right there where I am never really psychologically hooked to watch Okada and Tanahashi until it actually happens. I'm like, fuck, always a good match. Yeah. And, that's, how I kind of view a lot of the fucking Ishii and Omega matches. It's like, I know it's going to be a good fucking show, and every time I go into it, I'm like, fuck, that was a great match. And I with something really on the line now. Well, they've had championships on the line, obviously, but I never really thought Tanahashi was going to walk away with it. Yeah, I'm intrigued by it, but at the same time, I'm kind of siding with what Omega is saying on Twitter. Like, do I need to fucking see Tanahashi and Okada again? I know it's gonna be a fucking great match, but it's like, Jesus Christ, slow down.
Well, what's interesting to me is that it really could go either way. If Okada wins, you've got Okada Omega 5 in the Tokyo Dome.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that aspect.
So you could certainly go that way. And this time it's a new story, too, because it's Kenny as the champion now and Okada getting a quote-unquote rematch of sorts in the Tokyo Dome. So that's interesting. But Tanahashi and Kenny Kenny Omega is a story that they've been trying to tell in New Japan for a long time too. They tried to do the ladder match a couple years ago, and Tanahashi got hurt, and they had to throw Elgin in there. Oh yeah, that's right. And so that was there was supposed to be a big.
That's Elgin.
There was supposed
and he won that too.
Yeah, there was supposed to be a program there between Tanahashi and Elgin there for a few months there. So there's there's definitely intrigue.
Yeah, this feud is fresh. You know, it's something we don't see often. So it's like, yeah, Tanahashi's walking out.
But it is the thing with going back to Tanahashi and Okada here. They've never changed. They've never taken the briefcase off of anybody for the Tokyo Dome main event. So there's some intrigue there too. The main eventer's always held on to his spot so far.
Yeah.
So there's a lot going on here.
It'll be a good match though.
And again, and then
when's that happening?
That's this Sunday.
Okay.
That's
Sunday.
That is come out to the Monster Truck Extravaganza.
One night only.
Featuring Okada.
And Tanahashi.
It's gonna be destruction.
See, it's still just $5
in Kobe. You'll buy the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge. So that's Destruction in Kobe on the 23rd, I believe. This Sunday.
Awesome.
And since we're talking about it, the other big match on that show is Kushida versus the Clinton Dix.
I'm just thinking,
Clinton Dix.
We need to start a fucking monster truck podcast. I think we're in the wrong business.
Maybe we'll consider it. We'll consider it. But yeah, Kushida versus I just fucking had it. Bushi. Kushida versus Bushi.
Strong axles.
Kushida versus Bushi. The one of the two matches that are taking place for the IWGP Junior title tournament. The other match, Ospreay and Marty Scurll on the 30th at the show in Long Beach. So Destruction in Beppu.
The best pro Monster Truck Rally podcast.
Yeah, it'd be just as good of a name as this show. But yeah, the Beppu show now. As we kind of rewind a little bit.
Pro Monster Jam.
We had KES versus the Best Friends.
Oh,
and so
nice.
KES got the win with the Killer Bomb. So we're building KES.
Are the Best Friends alive still?
Best Friends are alive, and they're going to do this match again this Sunday on the Destruction in Kobe. That's going to be the show this weekend, KES versus the Best Friends. Again, so we'll see if the Best Friends can pull off another victory here and we go to the rubber match between these two, or do they just keep building up Killer Elite Squad for a potential matchup with the Young Bucks for the heavyweight titles? Young Bucks got to defend Young Bucks got to defend the heavyweight titles versus Evil and Sonata, I believe, at the Long Beach show.
Shit.
So there's that coming up in a couple of weeks here. Where we got the end of September is crazy busy. You've got the Ring of Honor pay-per-view. Couple of days later is this Long Beach show, the Strong Style Evolved. You got this weekend Destruction in Kobe, and then King of Pro Wrestling is like the week after that, early October. So yeah, end of September, early October. There's a lot New Japan Ring of Honor stuff going on. Back to Beppu now.
Beppu.
The new young lion that came from the Kaientai dojo, Ayato Yoshida, I believe is how you pronounce it. He had a singles match versus Takashi Iizuka, the crazy motherfucker from Suzuki Gun with the what do you call it? The thing you wear over your face to protect you from
like Hannibal Lecter. Shit.
Yeah, he's got the thing over his face to protect him from biting people. He's got that, the Iron Fingers gimmick, all that going on. So this guy's beating the snot out of this young lion from the Kaientai dojo, and believe it or not, the Young Lion got a win.
Nice.
The Young Lion won. It was a DQ when he used the iron fingers, of course. So there's that.
Hey, a win's a win.
A win's a win. Zack Sabre Jr. pinned Evil. He's been targeting Evil in these tag matches. So we're looking for a possible singles match between these two going somewhere down the line. But he got the pin over him in a tag match here. So they're building up Zack Sabre, possibly Evil. But Evil really sold this loss in the ring. Like, he didn't leave the ring for a while. His facial expression didn't change. He's like, what the fuck just happened here? And I haven't had a chance to check out the post-match comments from this one, but Zack Sabre was all fucking cocky, slapping Young Lions around after the match, just fucking talking shit. So I'm looking forward to like I said, I haven't watched the post-match ones for this yet, but I'm excited to see what Zack Sabre and if Evil had anything to say about it in there too. And then we had the never open weight championship match between Hiroki Goto and Tai Chi. Tai Chi is your new never open weight champion.
Really?
This match sucked. It was Tai Chi stalls for 5 minutes at the beginning. He finally gets him to go in to do the Suzuki gun brawl outside the ring. It takes forever, and these guys had a long match. And then at the end of the match, you had all the fucking skullduggery. Everybody runs in. I'm trying to remember here. Yoshinobu Kanemaru was out there ringside with him the whole time, so he's out there early and often with the skullduggery. Desperado does a run-in late after a ref bump. Goto gets a visual pin, but the ref is down. Iizuka runs down. He distracts the referee, and then Tai Chi hits a low blow, gets a near fall. But then the way Tai Chi ended up winning after all that skullduggery, it was a few minutes after the skullduggery. The ref is back up. They're going back and forth. Tai Chi hits the fucking last ride power bomb, and then the air raid crash and the sit out air raid crash thing. And Tai Chi gets the fucking win, man.
That's awesome.
So
stress stinks. Arid clash. Remember those commercials?
So yeah, I don't know where they're going here. Again, probably if I was going to throw stars on this one, maybe 3.
It's on the Tommy New Japan scale.
Yeah, I don't know.
I was thinking you just throw ninja stars at it. I'm surprised you actually got a rating.
And then the main event, Tetsuya Naito versus Minoru Suzuki.
Ooh.
So remember the match they had back in April for the Intercontinental Championship where Suzuki just dominated the whole thing, and then Naito, boom, comes back, hits a Destino out of nowhere, and gets the win. This was kind of like that, although this one went long, too. This one was like another 40-minute match.
Yeah, I remember a lot of people weren't too into that match.
And honestly, I wasn't really into this one that much either. Like Suzuki, it was a lot of crowd brawling early. So if you're into that, you get a lot of that early in the match. Suzuki folds up the ring bell table and just throws it at Naito's head, puts a big dent in the table, and Naito bleeds from that. And then Suzuki sets up the table outside to do something dastardly off the apron. Then Naito ends up countering that and hitting a neck breaker off the apron, where Suzuki takes the entire table neck breaker style from the apron to the floor.
Oh.
So that was pretty decent there. Then late in the match, Suzuki starts going after Naito's leg. They do like 5 solid minutes of Suzuki having Naito in a couple of different fucking leg holds, but it's in the center of the ring. Naito cannot escape. This was probably the most dramatic thing about the match, because it's like, fuck, he's not escaping. He's just fucking killing his leg here.
Yeah.
The referee's teasing stopping the match. They're talking about that on commentary. By the way, English commentary was a little bit better on night 2 here. Not quite as dorky with this Mark guy.
I'm sure he read the Twitter comments.
I'm sure it was there. Even I try to stay pretty positive on Twitter. I even threw out some negativity on this guy on Twitter.
He said he threw up on this guy. Gross.
Threw out some negativity is what I said. The 5 minutes of leg locks was the thing in there. Naito escapes a Gotch pile driver, but then hits a Destino after all these leg locks. But then he can't cover him. He's just fucking 2 out of it. And then right before the finish, hard slaps back and forth to the face. And then fucking Naito hits the Destino after hitting his own gotch pile driver.
Oh, wow.
So hitting Suzuki's finisher and then hitting the Destino, and he gets the win there. So a longer match than their first one. Not quite as Suzuki dominant as the first one, but pretty dominant.
Mm-hmm.
But this one, I don't know, man. It was long. It felt like they were just doing a long match to do a long match here.
Yeah.
And man, it didn't work for me. It just didn't.
Hey, that'll happen.
You know, I was more into the Omega Ishii match, but here's the feeling I'm getting with these destruction shows. Look, we're just coming off the G1 climax, some of the best matches of the year. So if these are, you know, destruction and Kobe matches, if they're not gonna give us their best, it's, you know, we got the best at the G1.
Gotta save it.
Right.
So you know, I mean, this was probably 3.5, maybe creeping on 4 for me. It was good, but it was
the
just
build up again.
It was long, and you know, look, the positivity out of this, Naito's got some momentum, beating Murder Grandpa, so you got that. So there's that.
It's like in all reality, we're 4 or 5 months away from Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah, it's coming. It's right
around
around the
the corner.
corner.
Yeah,
it's like 4 months away, really.
God damn, I can't believe it's already almost October.
Oh my God. Royal Rumble season's just around the corner too, boys.
Correct.
But it's just just fresh off the G1. It's that build up phase to Wrestle Kingdom at this point, the road to Wrestle Kingdom. So I don't know, it's fun. It sounds like they're good shows.
Yeah. All right, let's change it up. Talk some Ring of Honor.
Change the subject.
So biggest news, Ring of Honor's got their pay-per-view coming up in a couple of weeks here on the 28th. So just 2 days before Strong Style Evolved.
Oh, hi.
Or is that what it's even called? Am I getting that one
making
right?
shit
You're talking Fighting Spirit
Fighting
Unleashed?
Spirit Unleashed. I'm sorry.
I looked at it twice now since you said that a
Yeah.
couple of times, and I'm just like, where the fuck is it?
Yeah, Fighting Spirit Unleashed. That's on the 30th. Death Before Dishonor is on the 28th.
Cool.
And so we did officially get on Ring of Honor TV the Ospreay challenging Jay Lethal for the Ring of Honor Championship.
Yep.
We talked about that last week and a little bit earlier. The NWA put out a video. We talked about this also, where Cody will be challenged by Willie Mack for the for the NWA Championship. So that's also on Death Before Dishonor. We got a few other matches for Death Before Dishonor. Tennille Dashwood's going to challenge Sumi Sakai. That came out of TV this week as well.
I think she wins it.
I think so too. The Sumi Sakai thing is falling flat, but the story here is that Sumi wants to, you know, prove her mettle. She's defended the championship all over the world, and that's another thing they said on this week's TV is that since Sumi's been defending the championship all over the world, it is now officially the Women of Honor World Championship. So I guess it wasn't officially a world championship.
Kind of what
before.
ICW was doing at that show I went to Saturday, because I guess this was the first time it was defended in America now, because they were like, no, it's the world's championship.
Awesome.
We got defended a couple, so it's like, hell yeah.
So yeah, they're doing that same gimmick with the
Cool.
Ring of Honor Women's Championship, and Sumi wants to prove her mettle against a worthy opponent like Tennille Dashwood. So that's the one we've been clamoring for. Let's do it. Hopefully, it's a good match. Should be a good match. So we had that this week. Let's see. We had sorry, I'm all over the fucking place here. Big main event was SCU versus the Briscoes and P-Mart, Punishment Martinez.
Ooh, I like that. We're gonna go P-Mart for the rest of the time.
SCU get the win here with the best Meltzer ever. Daniel's doing the best moonsault ever into a tombstone pile driver by Kazarian.
Upside down.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's a play off of the it's a play off the Meltzer driver from the Young Bucks. They do except it's Daniels doing the moonsault.
Yeah, that's what makes it the best Meltzer ever.
Correct. But yeah, I'm loving the SCU Briscoes feud. We're going to get those two against each other at Death Before Dishonor for the championships, for the Ring of Honor Tag Championships that the Briscoes are holding right now.
Cool.
So that's going to be some good stuff there. Had some chair skullduggery in this championship match with chucking chairs at heads and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And
what the fuck?
It's just weird. I'm so used to seeing people getting hit in the back, and it's like those are maybe they're WWE chairs or not, but like the sound of the chairs just like brought back horrible Attitude Era memories.
At least it wasn't Attitude Era style swing the chair.
Baseball shots.
Swing the chair into somebody's unprotected head. And these ones, guys are putting their hands up, and that's what's making the sound mostly.
Maybe if
Like,
they wore
pushing
more
them
leather
too.
helmets,
Right,
it'd be okay.
And and throwing the chairs. What were you saying? Rugby helmets like
Yeah, maybe if
Taguchi?
they, more helmets, it'd be all right.
Maybe rugby helmets like what Taguchi's wearing. Taguchi Japan. The Bully Jonathan Gresham segment. This was really interesting. Jonathan Gresham's out there to get interviewed, following up his big match that he had with Jay Lethal a couple of weeks ago. The really good Iron Man match. Jay Lethal put the match over big time on the show. He said that's his favorite match that he's ever had in Ring of Honor was the Jonathan Gresham Iron Man match. So Bully Ray comes out, gets in Gresham's face. Gresham wants to have have a wrestling match. I can't beat you in a fight, Bully, but we can have a wrestling match. Bully says, okay, kicks him in the nuts, and and that was that.
Right in the ding-ding.
Flip runs out. Jay Lethal runs out to thwart this Bully stuff. Then Silas runs out and takes care of Jay Lethal, but then Silas fucking shoves Bully. I really like the story that they're telling between Bully and Silas.
Yeah.
Because it was after the Silas Young and Flip Gordon match from a couple of weeks back where Flip got the win, and Flip got the win. Then Bully did the run-in afterwards, beat up Flip, and then Bully and Last Real Man Silas Young kind of have a moment. They don't interact at all.
Yeah.
But then the next week on TV, they're kind of getting into it a little bit. Silas is getting into Bully Ray's face. So we got some interesting stuff that they've been developing.
I want to see that
with Silas Young and Bully Ray, and they're going to tag up next week against Lethal and
they're going to tag up again.
Yeah, they're tagging up again.
After Bully already dipped out on him once before for not being a man enough, and if he was more of a man, he would have kept his TV title.
Exactly, they're teaming up.
This is bullshit.
They're gonna team up against Lethal and Gresham, and I'm looking.
Is Stephanie McMahon's appointed general manager running this?
Well, no, this is because Lethal and Gresham want to put a stop to this Bully bullshit and the fact that Silas came out and fucking shoved Jay Lethal around just so that
they're being forced. Okay.
Yeah. So they're going to be forced to tag, and I picture a big moment. I'm hoping for a big moment from Silas Young next week in a positive direction, but who knows?
Face turn, maybe.
Maybe.
Damn.
That might be kind of cool.
Wow.
I don't care. I don't care what he does. I love Silas Young. I could watch him beat the shit out of people all day.
I'm into it.
And again, he just fucking kills it on Twitter because his character, that's just him.
A real man is going to help this woman across the street. Oh, thank you. He just starts putting motivational videos out there.
We had a nice promo from Chris Sabin on his upcoming match against P-Mart. Chris Sabin rules. That was his tagline at the end. That was very awkward.
It was out of nowhere.
Him staring into the camera going, Chris Sabin rules.
Doyle rules.
San Dimas High School football rules.
I don't have one.
What did you call him, Taco? Because he looked.
I was like, you got your Dean Ambrose and my Dan O'Brien.
He looked like
your Dan O'Brien and my Dean Ambrose.
He looked like a cross between those two. You called him the American Lunatic.
Yes. And he proved that point, too, on Ring of Honor TV by throwing his shoe at P-Mart, fucking holding up to the lunatic thing, and then he's going to show up in the ring and fucking do some work on him.
Honestly, who throws his shoe? That was great. He threw his shoe at P-Mart. So, yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Shop smart, shop P-Mart.
That was that's pretty much Ring of Honor this week. Let's get out of here with the Kojima tweet.
Now it's time for the
Taco has to
Satoshi
feel he pressed the wrong button.
Tweet of the week.
So follow Kojima on Twitter at Cozy_Lariat. Kojima's back. He's wrestling, doing good stuff, fighting against them young lions in these undercard matches on those destruction shows. But he says, "Hello, Bread Club? Have not you forgotten about me? I will be in trouble if I forget it. Anyways, let's eat bread every day. Baby, bye-bye. So make sure you go subscribe to Best Pro Wrestling Podcast on whatever podcast provider you have. And that's where you're going to find Strong Honor after this month. We're going to cancel the exclusive Strong Honor feed. So make sure you go subscribe to Best Pro Wrestling Podcast. Of course, you can find it at bestprowrestlingpodcast.com. It'll be posted there as well. All the links in the description for the podcast as well. And so make sure you check all of that stuff out. Thanks for checking out Strong Honor. Make sure you rate, review, and subscribe to this and the Best Pro Wrestling Podcast. If you just like the Strong Honor part of it, go ahead and say that. These guys are great, but I really like what they do on the Strong Honor shows where they talk about New Japan and Ring of Honor. So that's something you can do for Best Pro Wrestling Podcast on iTunes or wherever you can rate and review a podcast. So again, thank you very much. I appreciate the listenership and the support, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye!